Mindy, your survey looks pretty good.
Okie doke. I will mention it tomorrow in our staff meeting.
Okay. Hi, Missy.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Making it through. Okay, there's Jennifer.
Dan, can you change my name? I tried, but I can't change my name.
Sure, let me try.
I've had to do that for a couple of my students.
I've done it before for me, but today I couldn't.
There we go.
Thank you.
We're just waiting on Paige. There we go. Okay, doke. Okay, I think everybody's here.
Okay. And it is after 5:45. Oh, are we making, is the link live?
Yes, the link is live.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and call to order at 5:47. And does anyone have anything they want to revise or prioritize on the agenda?
My only question was for executive session, if that needed to be earlier. If we're talking anything financial, we have some financial decisions to discuss. So I didn't know if we needed to do that before.
No. And I'd like to remove the approved budget for 21-22. The OMB hasn't gotten us our numbers yet for the upcoming school year. They're still working on it. They sent me over preliminary information on our staffing, and so I'm trying to verify everyone's step in class and all of their benefits and fun stuff for next school year.
Yeah, I was just going to leave that on and table it.
If I wanted to recommend a table something, should I wait till we get to that?
That's what we usually do.
Okay.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion. I make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I second.
All in favor?
Except we have to roll call vote.
Oh my gosh. What's the fancy words that I can say? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Wasn't it something like for this kind of thing? Wasn't it like something like if hearing none, it's approved or something like that? Like if there's any
Hearing no objections.
hearing none, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
That's not very helpful. Okay, we'll just do roll call vote, I guess. Let's see. Mindy.
Yes.
Yes. Missy.
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Paige.
yes,
Casey.
is on mute.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, agenda approved
And
as
Vanessa,
written.
do you vote?
Oh, right. Do I ask myself? Yes.
Yes, I don't know.
All right. On to approving the October 6th regular meeting minutes. Did anyone have any, if they read them yet, any edits or revisions?
For the record, you can tell that I decided to underline all the motions so that they stand out a little easier so we can find them easier.
I like that.
I read them and didn't have any comments.
Anybody else? If
I
not,
make-
does anyone?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, Mindy,
Yes.
Missy,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
Vanessa?
and I am also a yes.
That's going to take up most of our meeting time is doing the roll call.
Writing.
Okay. Okay. The October 6th minutes approved as written then. Any public input? Has anyone received any?
Yes, I have something. Hi, Cohen.
Go and get out of here.
Okay, so I got a message from Mrs. Frazier who wants to thank the board, so I will read it. She says, "Thank you so much for the purchase of the phonics readers. The first grade students and parents are enjoying them and have made many positive comments. Mrs. Patterson and I listen to the students read every week. What we notice is that the struggling readers can easily decode the books, and the more advanced readers are enjoying the stories. We are using them along with the baggy books, and it is giving us a good variety for our students. We absolutely appreciate you getting them for us."
Awesome.
The end.
That was very nice.
Am I still on mute? No. Okay. Let me check one more time to make sure no one signed up on the thing. Sorry, Cohen's listening to something obnoxious and I needed to tell him to turn it down. I have no one signed up, and I have not received any emails either. So, anyone else have any public comment? All right. PTO update. PTO update. That's a good question.
Has there been a meeting?
I think so.
Yes.
The same week, right? That
Yeah.
we met.
I didn't go to it though. I
Oh
bowed
man,
out.
it's all me.
It's all you, Vanessa.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
I love how you're
Okay.
talking to yourself. PTO meeting.
It feels like 100 weeks ago. Let's see. Okay, I found the agenda for that, so hold on. I don't think there was no old business, so I think we were working on collecting box tops, but those weren't due to be mailed until November 1st. So we were definitely down a lot from normal, but that's, expected, especially with their new electronic format that you have to scan your grocery receipts for. And then we decided to do the Northern Lights coupon books fundraiser this year. Probably not as aggressively as last year, but might as well try because at some level, we get like $10 back a book. So anything is helpful, and other people are still selling them. So we're doing that. And then we did kind of a last minute red ribbon week. And I think Alicia is looking into planning a technology talk that's free. I think the company name she got it from came through like PTO Today. So she's looking at putting together one that our school can join if we want to do. And then we reviewed a budget for the year, but we did not vote on a budget. We just reviewed what we think might happen or what could happen, and then are going to bring that back to another meeting. And I think that was it, really. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Technology talk, though, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like internet safety and appropriate social media use and cyberbullying, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Good, Alicia. That's creative.
All right, on to principal's report.
So I submitted a enrollment with that for the Oasis count. So I went ahead and I submitted to the district a request that when they're preparing our preliminary numbers for us, that they actually use our Oasis count for this school year instead of what we had the previous year. So if we do end up bringing back more kiddos next year for sixth grade, it'll just increase our budget by that much.
Is Oasis like the overall budget? Like, I don't know what Oasis stands for.
Oasis is the October enrollment count period. And so we ended up with, I believe it was 263.4 or 95 students. And I, for the life of me, don't know how they count a 0.95. It could be that a student was just with us for part of the time in the full count, so he might have come in the day after or the second day after count started. So we did manage to stay just under the 165 threshold, and that resulted in a net loss of $25,000 in funding for us this year. So I shared with you the numbers that we were throwing into the unallocated reserve, meaning that was unspent funds from this school year. So that more than covers the revenue loss of those few students that hadn't returned. And that way you're not touching anything that was in your unallocated reserve from previous years. As far as other budgetary things, I think the other things are probably on agenda items. So the other major thing is we did put our order through for the Chrome cart and 35 Chromebooks, and no word yet on a receiving date on that. And then we do have one staffing thing that I shared with you, that we have a teacher applying to go on extended leave. And so we're going to move some personnel around in order to keep some consistency in the classroom as far as a long-term sub and someone who actually knows our program. And then also to keep our other sub available for any other potentially upcoming situations. Heather Caldwell, the second and third grade TA, will be resigning her TA position so that she can actually take the long-term sub job.
How does a long-term sub work with the finances?
So a long-term sub gets paid a little bit more than a sub because they're actually assuming lesson planning and grading responsibilities.
But then the teacher that's taking the extended leave of absence, they are just using like all of their accumulated vacation, but then once that's gone, then they're not receiving anything. But are we still paying all the benefits during their extended leave of absence?
Yes. So the anticipated dates for the leave will be November 18th is going to be the start date. And then the end date right now is April 16th. That exhausts the teacher's sick leave bank.
You said November 18th to April 16th?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Brushing my dog's teeth.
And so that leaves us with needing to find a second and a third grade TA. And I shared with the selection committee 2 candidates, and now we need to pick a date to coordinate some Zoom interviews.
Okay.
The
Any-
selection committee being,
The hiring committee.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Who's
Melissa
that?
and
Mindy, Misty,
Mindy.
Paige.
And Paige.
Okay.
Just making sure you don't have extra meetings.
Basically, yes. Like, is this
You can jump on this.
applicable?
You could volunteer.
It seems like a bit of a tight club there. I don't know if I'm qualified to fit into that triumvirate.
Oh, Casey, we'll make room for you.
You fit in perfectly.
All right, any questions for Deanne?
I do. Under facilities, you have that the building was closed for extra deep cleaning. Just out of curiosity, do we then have to pay ASD for that deep cleaning?
I do not believe so.
Just since we would have to if they replace our key fobs, I wasn't sure if this would fall in.
Oh, no, this one should not be. This one should be on the district.
Okay. And then I don't see anywhere else about the CARES Act, the COVID funds coming in. Do we know yet what that dollar amount is that's coming?
No, we don't.
We
We
it's
haven't
based
done-
on, well, last year's count, right?
It is based on last year's count. So, my anticipation is going to be lower than what we currently anticipated, but we still have a healthy buffer zone in what we've spent so far.
But they haven't projected when that would be coming yet.
No.
Any more questions for Deanne? All right, on to Special Standards Committee update. I assume we're still on pause there.
Yeah, we've been working on election stuff, and special standard stuff.
Yep, we're on pause.
Okay, hiring committee update. Did you have any more update besides you have 2 candidates and you need to interview them?
Yes. No other updates.
Okay. And election committee update.
I was gonna try to go on real quick and see if it lets me see who all has, like how many votes have happened. So hold on just a second. I do need to post it, send out another email blast to encourage people to remind them that they can vote because it goes through this Saturday. It's kind of a foregone conclusion. We know who the elected folks are going to be. Hold on, I have to think of my password. It's kind of crazy. Election log. So overall, the process worked pretty well, getting it all set up. So it works well. And I don't know, maybe I can't see. Election's not finished. I can't view the results. I have 10 electors have voted so far of 118. So I guess this is a good practice election since we will have another one in the spring. Mindy and I were really hoping that we would maybe be able to propose to Daryl that we could put forth this example of our election and say, we solicited, we asked for applicants, we got 3 applicants with 4 seats and only 1 applicant per seat. It's not financially responsible to have to carry out an election that we already know the foregone conclusion. Is there any way that we could write it saying we'll proceed as though, and then if we don't receive any more applicants, then we can just call it instead of having to do the full election? But I think Vanessa kind of approached that last time and
I tried.
so I didn't know if we wanted to try again now that we've got it, had it happen twice, and that was why we had changed things. But anyway, we've got until Saturday at midnight that people can still vote. We will still have one vacancy because we didn't get any applicants for the community seat. So at that point, because we've had the official election, we should be able to appoint somebody to fill that seat.
That I do have written confirmation of the okay of that.
But we still have to ask for open applications, right? Is that what you said we still
Yes.
have to do? So we'll still have to put it out there that we have
Yeah.
an opening. If anyone would like to apply, then they could. And then people who would like to maybe fill that seat, Casey, should fill out the application and turn it in. And then we can appoint somebody to fill that seat.
Yeah,
I
Casey.
just- Well, I can't believe someone, I mean, that's a big community. I fully expected like people to bum rush this seat. It didn't happen. So that was a little bit on me. I don't know. Okay, so yes, I will do that as soon as I see that come through, because I still get the Eagle Express and everything else.
Well, we'll have to wait till the election officially closes this Saturday. But seeing as how there are no write-ins, we only have one applicant per seat. Paige will be seat C. Cheryl Rail will be seat E. Oh, seat E. Switch it around. Vanessa C. Cheryl E. Paige E. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, and then because that's where I messed up, because I thought since I was no longer a parent, so now I understand the situation. Community's not okay.
Community can come from anyone. It can be a parent or a non-certificated staff member, but
Okay,
it doesn't have to be a parent.
okay,
So
I'm in.
any other questions about our election?
Mindy,
Oh,
Yes.
and then Mindy has the staff portion.
Mindy, would you like to work with me to do a robocall from the APB to all families to encourage them to vote?
Oh, yes, I can work with you on that.
Okay, and will you do it in Scooby-Doo's voice?
Oh, of course. Right, row. We need more votes.
And then you're collecting staff applications, right, Mindy?
Yes, I did that, and I've gotten one staff member that has committed to having her name on the ballot. And I was working with Deanne today, and we've got a ballot prepared, and she's approved it, and we'll send it out tomorrow. And then our election will be done by Saturday as well. And our only candidate was Missy again.
I was about to be like, when I saw that in the email, I was like, oh, is she deciding to step down?
My husband's out of town, so I can apply and maybe get elected to it.
No, that one, yep.
I tried. You were gone.
Okay. On to old business review, the policies and procedures manual. I think I made all the edits, but there were a whole lot of ASDs and Eagle Academies, so I might have missed some.
So,
And did anyone have anything else?
so I had a chance to read through it and I have a few. There are a lot of open parentheses that the first parenthesis is there, but the second one isn't. Well, a lot. There's at least 3 or 4 of them. So I don't know if you want me to just type up my notifications or you want me to tell you now and you can go change it now. I didn't know how you wanted to do that.
Do you have them marked?
I have page numbers written down.
Yeah, do that. I'll just do it now.
Okay. So I had a couple questions before some of those. So only because we're not meeting
Okay.
in the building right now, in Deanne's message, it talks about building connections. I didn't know if you wanted to leave it that way since we're not actually in the building right now.
Oh no, that is like building connections, like building a tower, like making connections.
Oh, I thought it was like making connections within the building.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's just connecting to people.
I'm
Which
sorry,
is
I'm gonna have to
harder,
mute my.
You know, when we're,
And I did, she had put something in there that were like, it just happens that it's been like since 2016 since we have redone it. So I took those out so that every year we don't have to do this.
Okay. The next one was if we list all the staff members, and because of ASD's email algorithm, I didn't know if we wanted to say Melissa Missy Timberlake so that people would know that if they wanted to email her, it would be Timberlake_Melissa as opposed to Missy. I don't know if that matters or not. And then
I mean, they get all their contact information from the teachers, and it's in the newsletter if they want.
so I don't know. It was just something I thought of as I was reading through it. It lists the TA, the intervention TA. It up above on TA for grade 2, it said to be determined TBD. I didn't know if you wanted to put that alongside the intervention, just for continuity's sake, because we don't have one right now.
I can do that. Maybe.
Then on page 5, under scheduling in the 3rd paragraph, it says teachers will need to sign something, but it doesn't say what they'll need to sign. I'm assuming it's a waiver.
Teachers will need to sign.
It just was kind of an incomplete what they have to sign.
Is that the extra 20 minutes of instructional
I
time?
don't know if it's. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually a waiver. I think that's why it doesn't specify. They just have to sign.
What do they sign though?
I only ever remember signing when I got hired. The
So-
extra.
And that is all, like, once you've agreed to it, you've agreed to it.
Mhm.
So anyway, then on page 6, under student behavior, the 3rd bullet, to me, I would have put a comma after defiant, aggressive, comma, defiant, comma, or otherwise inappropriate behavior or something like that.
Sure.
Then page 7,
I did not retype the.
sorry, Vanessa, you keep breaking up, so I'm not catching everything you're saying.
Oh, I said I did not retype all of this, but I can add in a comma.
You know, it's just those little things. Then page 7 in the 1st paragraph is where it's got one of those open parentheses. It says Academic Policy Board, then APB, Eagle Academy's governing body. But since we specified in the very beginning what APB stands for, and Academic Policy Board, I would say just take that whole thing out.
Yeah, we don't even need that.
And then there's a star. Says refer to the ASD. Do you know where I am talking about? I don't have it up, so I'm just going by what I wrote down. There's no close to that.
Yeah, no, I see what you're talking about.
Okay.
I see that.
And then underneath the
fixed it.
highlighted section, it says out of school suspension, like couple paragraphs above it. It also had out of school, but one of them is hyphenated and the other one is not.
Out of, yeah. I'll just change it. Unless it's capitalized. Does it need to be capitalized?
I don't know. I would just make the two match. You've got the in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, and then where it's talking about in the highlighted section, I would just do hyphenated out of school. Then it matches the one that's previous. And
That's
then
what I just did.
under emergency school closures, it says that we will follow AS,
Wait, what page is that?
same page 7, I think. I wrote down page 7.
Oh, mine's on page 8. Okay. I see it.
It says we will follow ASD. At the very beginning, when it's talking about scheduling, it says we will generally follow ASD. So I didn't know if we wanted those two to match.
Are they both talking about emergency
Yes.
closures?
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the
Of the
whole thing?
document when it's talking about scheduling.
Oh, I see. Wait, do I see?
So on page 5.
Oh, yes, school
back.
emergency closures will generally follow those of ASD.
So one says generally, one says that we will.
Then I can, we'll just add a generally so they say the same thing.
And then on page 9, it's talking about newsletters. And about newsletters, it says that the school one is coming out the beginning of the week, but now Deanne has been sending them out at the end of the week for the next week. So I don't know if we just want to say a weekly newsletter, if we want to make that distinction. And then it could be whenever, but it just comes out once a week.
Well, the thing with that is then we're changing when it says, so we'd be changing the policy. So then we'd have to do the policy change thing. So it already says a weekly school-wide newsletter will be published by the office and sent home the first day of the week. So
It doesn't say the
I
day of
mean,
the week. The Monday one says the classroom teacher, not
Yeah.
Deanne School Express.
the other one says sent home the first day of the week, which I would guess if we were in class with a printed copy, that might be the case. No, there is no printed copy. Anyway, I don't know. I would just leave it because it's sent home like by the first day of the week. So I think it's fine.
Okay.
Unless anyone else doesn't think so.
No, a lot of these are nitpicky and I'm sorry about that. It's just trying to make it as accurate as possible, I guess. And then there were a couple of times that it talked about proficiency. And it was written differently. So on page 11, under remediation, it says, should any student fall below proficient? And then it's in quotes. Somewhere earlier, it had said below capital P proficient. And then under student promotion and retention here on page 11, it says capital P proficient. So I didn't know if we wanted that to be consistent, just like we wanted the ASB Eagle Academy thing to be kind of consistent throughout, or if I don't know
Sure.
how it's written on the report cards.
It does not like how I spelled. Okay. I just changed it to a capital P.
And then the list
Like
there.
the other ones.
Okay. Then the list there under remediation, all of those, I mean, none of them are a complete sentence, but they're all capitalized. And if you look at the page before, all of the bullets on those are not complete sentences, but they're all start with lowercase. So again, just the formatting.
But then the one above that, it is capitalized.
Which one?
2 above it are not, and then the third one above it
Oh.
is again.
So I guess that could be something you could go back if you wanted to, if you cared. And then there is a comma on the 4th bullet point there, which is really a hyphen under remediation for missing papers, comma. Oh, and you put the close of the parenthesis in there. And then under student retention, promotion retention, there was another, did you get that one already? Oh, the principal in conjunction with teachers.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. Sorry.
You did better than I did. I was only looking at the yellow parts that she highlighted. You read the whole thing.
Well, the yellow parts are the only parts that I like
Changed.
had a question on or changed, like updated. The rest of it was already there.
Well, when you're have a document that's supposed to be for a school, ideally you would want it to be as correct as possible so it reflects that everybody's doing correct things, right? Okay, I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, did anyone else see anything with it? Does anyone want to move to, oh, what do we do? Move to adopt the revised version?
I would
Because we
like
do
to,
have to do that.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the revised version of the policy and procedures manual.
Do
will
I second or do we roll call?
We need a second, and then we can do a vote.
Okay, second.
All right. Mindy, in favor? Oh, wait, is there any other discussion on it? All right. Mindy, in favor or opposed?
Yes, in favor.
Missy, in favor or opposed?
In favor.
Jennifer, in favor or opposed?
Favor.
Paige, in favor or opposed?
In favor.
Casey, in favor or opposed?
Favor. Yes.
Okay, and I also vote yes. So the motion passes to adopt the revised version of the policies and procedures manual. Yay, we did something.
We do things all the time.
So I will take the highlighted colors off of it and then send it. Deanne, do you want me to send it to you so it can be published on the website and wherever else that needs to go? Okay. And on to the next old business, Saxon math materials.
We got feedback back from the teachers regarding materials that they would like for us to purchase, and I put that in my update for the budget. Tamara has reached out to Saxon to get a quote for 5 years worth of the K through 2 materials, or 8 years. 8 years will get us through the remainder of the current charter. And then, there is the possibility whether or not we have those materials, and we maybe can even explore with Saxon the possibility of getting the rights to electronically copy those materials and use them. If the school is hoping to use Saxon beyond the current charter. So as soon as we get those quotes in, I will provide that to the APB for your approval for purchase for in the spring.
So you said that Tamara is looking for just K2. What about the other ones?
No, so K2 has the consumables.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we need the either 5 years worth of the consumables or the 8 years. The textbooks, we've already decided we were going to get a classroom set, and then teachers kind of talked among themselves. They couldn't really determine which ones of the books that they've sent out this school year or the ones that they're currently using are going to need to be replaced. So we kind of halved that and are looking at 15 to replace what's out now that may be too tattered to use in the next few years. So we're getting one full, basically about 45 textbooks of the 3 through potentially 8 if Mindy has any students that are, or the course, is it course 3, Mindy?
Yes.
So are you getting 45 books of the course 3?
No.
So do we know? Because we don't have any numbers on what that is, right? The cost of the Saxon textbooks.
Correct. I think that, Mindy, do you know how many you told Tamara you need for course 2 and 3?
I think for course 2, I said 30, and for course 3, I said 10.
Okay.
But then 45 of all of the others, roughly.
Mm-hmm. And then any other teacher materials that they currently don't have or anticipate needing replaced. And that was maintaining the current versions of the textbooks that they are using. Or whether I think it's the 2008 versions for some people.
Well,
I believe it was 2012 because Tamara came in and we checked mine and it's 2012.
Okay,
I
but
know kindergarten said it was 2012.
for 5th grade, she has 2008 textbooks. So it's for whatever version of the textbook that they currently have in their classroom. And Missy, we did, go back and look at the quotes she originally was looking at was for 2008, but she's getting the 2012.
Yeah, we figured that out. She came in and we talked about it and looked to make sure.
So then we're hoping that by our next meeting, we'll have the cost of all of that.
Whenever Saxon gets it to us. We finally, I think, just got in our science materials that we had ordered in the spring, or the remainder of the science materials. So I think logistics globally has had issues with shipping and handling over the pandemic.
But then ultimately we'll need to vote on the approving of the pricing of all of that before it gets ordered, right?
Yes, I anticipate it being significantly over the $1,000 limit.
All right, any more questions on Saxon? All right, on to new business, Spalding accreditation.
All right, I'm going to ask that we table that. I just received the information from Spalding about the process of accreditation, the pricing, and it's cost this much if you do this, but it costs this much if you do that. So I really want to compile it and organize it in my head or on paper before I bring it to the board. So, and plus, I'm not sure that we can do too much not being in school, because the teachers who will need to become Spalding certified teachers will have to be filming themselves teaching their class. So, so let's table that, and hopefully I'll have everything that we need to go forward with that the next meeting.
Okay. On to floor mats. I think Deanne sent us a quote for that.
Yes. And these are the mats that we normally have in the hallway. We have, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 or 10 of those littler size mats that kind of run the hallway, and they get a little bit difficult to be rolling carts and things over because they move around so much. And so I was looking into getting longer pieces, and I think that they look more professional than stringing together 8 or 9 smaller pieces that and I'm anticipating that if we purchase this, then I can use that as our safety grant that we used last year to purchase some other things, like replacing our gym door locks. And I think we did purchase 2 smaller mats last year with the insurance grant. So,
And the 3 mats where you said there was an entrance, and then there's 2 4x24s, or was it 3 4x24s?
it should be 3 4x24s.
Okay, so it's 3/8 inch thick. Okay.
Is that going to be hard for our BPO to move, or if we have to move it, how heavy is that going to be?
We can roll it up and put it on the hand truck or the dolly. It's the same width as, or actually it's a little bit narrower than normally, but we'll only need 2 mats for that first hallway when we come in. And then the TAs are always trying to mop in, and they're really worried about people who turn the corner and then end up slip sliding. So we'll have another one that goes almost, halfway down the hallway toward the tech lab. And that's
How wide is the hallway?
how wide is the hallway?
Yeah.
Well, you would ask that question.
Well, just because it says it's 4 foot wide, and is it an 8 foot wide hallway so you can lay them 2 side
Yeah.
by side?
Oh, no, they're not going to be side by side. They're going to be
End to end.
Corner to corner, kind
End
of
to
end to end.
Yeah, end to end.
end to end, and it'll leave enough space. So if you saw the pictures that I have in the hallway with our dots that are spaced, they have where the kids walk on the first 2 tiles going in. When they walk in those tiles, they stay to the right, and then they stay to the right when they're exiting. If you've ever seen the kids walk down the hallway,
Yeah.
they're always walking to the.
So
and
it
so
will cover both of those, the in and the out of the second tiles.
it'll be in between, in the middle of the hallway. So they'll be able to walk in the middle of the hallway. It won't cover those.
So I guess my question is as far as I understood it, the reason that those mats were there was to help with the snow melt as kids came in. So as kids are coming in, they're not walking on the mat like from recess as kids pass, the older, and nowadays with
But no.
COVID, that probably won't happen, but
Yes.
eventually they may go back to that, and then the mat wouldn't be wide enough.
The mats currently don't go wall to wall.
Mm-hmm.
They give us just enough room. The room for the kids to walk on, but we'll have about one tile space extra. We should have about 1.5 feet extra on each side.
So if things go back to normal, they would be able to pass each other both on the mat.
Yes.
Okay.
When things go back to normal.
Yes.
Or when we can have kids in the building and not social distance.
So then you're saying that the mat will go from the double doors that close, and it goes all the way to the wall, essentially outside of 3rd grade?
It'll go to the wall that ends for 1st grade, and then the other one will start from that and then go down the rest of the hallway.
So will it come up then? So that they don't like walk on the mat and then the floor and then the mat?
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to make a motion about floor mats?
I
was
will
just
make
gonna
a
ask-
motion that we purchase the floor mats for our building.
You had a question, Casey?
At
No,
the-
the safety fund, that's great. So there's a safety fund?
Oh, it's a credit or like a credit gift card or something that we're getting back from our insurance renewal.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
We got that. But they also have a grant that you can apply for. But it's to reimburse you for things that you've already done to help make your building safer. So it's with our through our liability insurance policy. And you're able to, I think, apply up to, I don't know, maybe 10% of your coverage. I can't remember what it was. But we could have asked for up to $2,000 last year.
So we're
Oh.
anticipating that they will reimburse us for this cost.
That's my hope, that they're still going to offer the grant. They've offered it every single year that I've been applying for insurances with. So for the last 6-7 years.
I'll second.
Do we want to put a dollar amount on this motion though?
Well, it's already there. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
In the-
For Mindy's official motion to purchase
Oh, sorry.
the building.
Um,
If you want to know, the quote says $1,337.95.
yeah, according to what the quote says. I couldn't finish it because Casey started talking.
Fine.
Sorry.
And who seconded? Missy seconded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jennifer, do you want to read back the motion?
Mindy made a motion to purchase floor mats for our building in the amount of the quote of $1,337.95, and Missy seconded.
All right. Are you all ready to vote? Any discussion on? Okay. Mindy, what am I?
Yes, I
All
vote in favor.
Are you in favor or opposed?
In favor?
Missy,
I'm in favor.
Jennifer,
In favor.
Paige,
In favor.
Casey,
Favor.
and
Yes.
I am also in favor. So the motion passes. Okay, next agenda item is budget for Blue Ribbon celebration. I think we had that on our from our last meeting where we talked about doing like an end of year celebration, right? Is that correct? Did I interpret that correctly?
Yeah, I had a note from last time to put it on the agenda item for this time.
Okay. Is that right? What we were aiming for, Deanne, was like an end of year celebration?
Well, I was hoping to have the PTO plan something
Yeah,
and then,
which
but
I did take to them, so it is on their radar.
also
we-
provide them with some funding for that. And, you know, whether they want to do it sooner rather than later, or if they want to wait till the end of the year, I'd just like for us to be able to have a nice celebration and an acknowledgement of all the work that everybody's been putting in, including our kiddos, because they've worked super hard for this, and some of them have been in the school the entire time. You know, their entire careers, and so they were here when all of the testing and assessments were taken.
So it'd be nice if we can invite all former students back and all of that stuff too.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how much money that would take, or and you know, whether or not they want to use the gym or have some refreshments or something, buy some
Okay,
decorations.
so do we want, I can see like two things. Either we put how much we'd be willing to give now, or we hand it over to PTO and have them put something together and come back to us with the cost.
I like the second option because that's going to be fluid based on whatever our current mandates are. Because right now there'd be no way we could do refreshments with the current
Right.
mandates. So,
Or be together.
or even be together. So it will have to be thinking if we can meet together, this is one option, but if not, maybe this is a backup option of some kind of virtual event, or like they did with the 6th grade signs to be able to put in front of houses or something, because we're not going to know for the end of the year how we can celebrate until we have a better idea of what the community is at.
I would rather not do a virtual option. I'd rather
Why?
meet and just see
As long as possible.
this entails. Yeah, how this is all gonna end this school year, and maybe push it to next year. I don't know.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, but I think just coming up with different options would give them more flexibility of thinking outside the box for right now.
Okay, so do we want to kind of table that until PTO comes back with a plan and cost? Tentative plan and cost?
Sure.
Okay. On to Blue Ribbon Friday Dress Day / fundraiser. That was what Paige emailed us all about.
So in the beginning, Deanne had asked me to look up a way or somehow to have a shirt or something made for whoever wants one, maybe staff, some students, whatever. And as I was looking through Custom Ink's website, I've actually done this before, but Custom Ink actually has a fundraiser option where you can create your item and then you publish it. People pay for it on their own, so the money doesn't have to come to the school or through PTO or anything like that. And then at the end of the fundraiser, Custom Ink cuts a check to the school and sends it out. And then all the merchandise would come to me, and then, or whoever's organizing it, it gets separated out. And then I would just have to come up with a way to get it all out to people. So in thinking of that option and that we were trying to plan a celebration, I thought, oh, well, if we did the fundraiser option, then, we can use some of the shirt money to pay for the celebration that we're hoping to have. So the shirt that I designed, you guys saw it, hopefully in the email, but it's just a simple long sleeve shirt, navy background with the big logo on the front. Now, their minimum requirement to sell shirts is 48 because there's so many colors on the shirt. And that's pretty standard across the board for any other company that I've looked into. All companies have like a minimum when you have like that many colors in it. So I can always knock it down to be like one color and then it's a super cheap shirt, but that would take away from the logo in my personal opinion because it's bright and bold and people look at it because of all the colors in it, if that makes sense. So when I thought about publishing the fundraiser with Deanne, she was going to put it in the newsletter. I thought, well, how can we more entice the kids, parents to want to buy a shirt for the kids so that we can make sure we get the 48 sold. And I thought, well, what if we just for the school year, this is where the APB would come into play, just for this school year, maybe approve like one Friday a month or every Friday. That's up to what we want to discuss, but approving that this shirt be worn by the staff and the students to, celebrate and show off this achievement, wearing uniform pants, obviously, along with it. So, yeah. Does that cover everything I said? Oh, I tried to look up a polo shirt. I did put that in the email because then the polo shirt would definitely fit more uniform than the long sleeve shirt. But the polo makes the logo be like really tiny, like the ones the kids wear. So you'd see it. So I can totally go back and do that if that's more of a fan favorite. But the long sleeve shirt makes a bigger statement with the bigger logo.
Do you think the parents would prefer something that would be more along the lines of a uniform shirt so that the student could wear it anytime? Would they be more willing to pay for that?
Well, I didn't know if I didn't want to try to ask to make that a permanent uniform option. We can totally bring that up, but once we order this, I can't do it again. I mean, I can, but I can't do it. We can't do the order again without ordering a minimum of 48 because of all the colors. Mm-hmm. So we could do it now and we can make it a uniform option. But then like next year, I wouldn't be able to offer this again unless we have 48 people that want to order something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then probably new people next year would be like, what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I always cringe when we start talking about relaxing our uniform policy, just because it opens huge cans of worms and it's so hard to police. But I do like the shirts, definitely.
Well, and that's why I put on there like just for this school year. So if it was something, it wasn't like a permanent change, it was just a temporary change, and then even in this day of COVID, we don't even know when we're coming back into the building. But if we had this on there and we said, well, we could, all the teachers could maybe promote it for virtual. I know not everybody does Zooms on Friday, but maybe that could open up hey, wear your, blue ribbon shirt on our Zoom on Friday and, we'll all, I don't know, have a fun Friday or something on Zoom, of course, but until we're back in person and then. Anyway, I'm open for suggestions, and we don't have to do it at all. I just thought I would bring it up before I publish the fundraiser, because I wanted to be able to say, I wanted to publish it either not putting anything like that in there, or publish it saying, okay, guess what? We've now said we can wear this on Fridays or whatever.
So for it being a fundraiser, is there a not fundraiser version that is cheaper?
No,
So they would be $30 no matter what. This just happens to give us
I
money back.
clicked it up to $30. When I originally went through it, it was $25. So I just so they set me a price of $25, and they said, if you sell, like, how many do you expect to sell? And of course, the minimum is 48. So I just clicked 50, and it said at 50 shirts at $25, we would make 220 or something like that dollars. And so I was like, well, let me just see what happens when I bump it up to $30, because, that's, not unheard of for a long sleeve shirt. And so I thought, well, let me just see. And it bumped it up to like over $500. So all of that extra money would come to us. Whereas like of the $25. So it's almost like we're getting $10 a shirt if we sell it for 30, but not as much if we do 25. But I can totally knock it back down to 25 because I haven't published it. That was just me clicking and playing with it, trying to figure out.
What if you actually sold 100 shirts?
I'm sorry?
What if you actually sold 100 shirts? Would you get more?
Yep, you'd get more money. I didn't click to see how much we would make off of it, but I can totally go back and do that and see what it comes back at.
Would you be able to lower the price at 100 shirts?
I can lower the price now. I can lower it to 25, like I said.
So
It
25
just-
is the lowest price.
25 was what they came back at me with, so
But that's doing the fundraiser option, right?
yes.
Okay. Would it be $20 if we just wanted a shirt, like people to go buy a shirt and not do a fundraiser option?
I can look and see, but I would doubt that it would be much cheaper than that, simply because of the amount of colors on the shirt. So when I did this last year for the jazz band at the high school, we did not do the fundraiser option, but we did I had the design, had it set up, and I said, okay, you can get a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, and I sent it out to the families. They paid for it, and then I gave it to them when they got it. I want to say we paid $35 for a hoodie, and it was a single color. And then we paid $12 for a t-shirt. It was 12. So it would be somewhere in between that for sure, because it's not a hoodie, but it's not a t-shirt. But it also has 7 colors on the shirt versus 1.
Did you happen to check with the guy whose number I gave you?
I did, but his website is not local. It's a national website. So unless I got a typo.
Which is what I thought was weird, because the people that I have talked to who have used him they had said he was local, and maybe he's just a local rep for that
Maybe
company.
local rep, yeah.
But
Probably.
the quality of the shirt
Mhm,
is like night and day.
mhm.
Like the ones that we've gotten from Custom Ink are kind of boxy shirts. But these other ones that we got from the other guy, they are soft and comfortable. So I don't know, because
So you're saying you would wear the t-shirt? Just kidding.
it's a more comfortable t-shirt when I have to pick, because I have some of both of the t-shirts, because we've used Custom Ink for our office t-shirts that we give out to patients. If I have to choose between the one I've gotten from Custom Ink and the other one, I go to the other one because it's softer and more comfortable. But I think they also have a fundraising option on that website. But
They do.
But
The
I
problem-
didn't look at that.
They do, but the problem is when you have to go through and find what item you want to sell. If you only want to pick one, you have to find an item that does youth sizes and adult sizes, because if we want to try to reach our kids,
Mhm.
then we can't sell them adult smalls because it'll swallow 90% of them.
Well,
So
we and again, I haven't placed the order from our
oh,
office,
sure.
but we've gotten we get adult small through extra large, but then youth small, medium, and large.
Right. But when you're doing something
Oh, that they're ordering.
through them, yes. Like when you're trying to do this option on their website, you have to pick because Custom Ink has thousands, and this guy has probably thousands, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of choices of shirts. They even have like women's like fitted workout shirts and tank tops and you know 8,000 different hoodies, the performance fleece material, jersey knit material, all kinds of different materials. So Custom Ink probably does have something super soft like that, but only certain ones come in sizes youth through adult, double, triple X, whatever. So you kind of limit it to those items because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do just one shirt, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I like it as a fundraiser, but I don't like it as a fundraiser because we say we want to throw a celebration, like thanking everyone for all their hard work, but then we're like asking for their money to do that. So I just kind of don't like that. But I like the shirt.
And I think we need to get it as inexpensive as possible because we're talking families that have 3 kids, 4 kids at our school, even 2 kids. I mean, we just need it very affordable because we want people to be able to purchase too.
So is it possible to do 2 different shirts? One where you have one color, which is more affordable, and one where you have the colors that is more expensive and people can decide what they want?
And are we still talking about that for a fundraiser option or just to have?
Well,
But yes, I can do both. I can add another shirt on the
Mhm.
list that is just one color.
So just out of curiosity, just going to throw this out there. You guys, we're talking about the celebration and everything else, and a nice shirt would obviously be great. Does the school not have any reserve funds that could be used to purchase shirts as part of the whole celebratory activity?
Yes, you have a significant amount of funds
Right.
in your unallocated reserve.
Right. I mean, everybody having a cool t-shirt that's nice, particularly the long sleeve option, which is great for Alaska, would be a very fitting celebratory activity as opposed to food which goes away or balloons which fade or whatever.
I would also say that, like, if we were talking about doing something like that, Mindy would probably have a better idea based on the t-shirts that they did. The 6th grade used their funds last year and gave t-shirts to everyone, how much that cost to outfit the school. But additionally, if we're inviting people back to the school, like the alumni, it would be nice if we had something to give them and not say, we're only giving t-shirts to the students that are here right now, but something else, whether that be, keychains or lanyards or something else that would also celebrate it, that we would have that option. Or maybe we could even look at finding something that would be a little bit cheaper to give to everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like so we're talking about a celebration, but we're also talking about the t-shirt. It'd be nice if there was an overall sort of, here's the blue ribbon. Here's what we think it's really worth. Here's what we're willing to invest. Because right now, like having the PTO is kind of working on something. I know like Deanne, you've done several different things. And now we're also talking about the t-shirt. So it's as if everyone recognizes this is a big deal, but so what is it really worth to the school? And because as a parent, I actually like the idea of the long sleeve shirt that you could wear on a Friday or something like that, some sort of incentive for, but the celebratory thing's a bit of I almost would buy it more. I don't know, like if it's part of like everybody's going to wear these t-shirts and we're all going to celebrate on the same day, or you're all going to get this to celebrate. It's a little bit hard for me to make the jump that I'm going to go on a website and order a shirt because we're now this type of school. Like just getting there is a little bit, it's a bit of a few jumping jacks or whatever, few mental hurdles there, as opposed to, hey, we're going to have this really big celebration and we're all going to get this really cool thing when we get there. Or maybe we're all going to have a celebration, we're all going to wear our shirt. But anyway, I think it needs a better overall, where are we really headed with this and what do we think it's worth and how much time and money do we want to spend on it?
Well, 250 shirts times 25 is $6,250. Not including shipping.
It's not free shipping. It's been that much
We
money.
live in Alaska.
Well, customing
I
shirts
know.
are free. I don't know about the other ones, but
Oh, this customing shipping is free?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'll tell it,
62
yeah, it would,
for
I mean,
200
but like
shirts.
that is celebratory. You want a celebration, it's a nice t-shirt, not like a stiff one, not a boxy one, not one that has a really scratchy tag in the back, but like a nice t-shirt that's pretty freaking celebratory. Everybody put on your cool matching t-shirt as the cannon goes off with the confetti. So
Confetti cannons.
yes.
right.
It will look beautiful in my quilt too.
I'd like to put a plug in for the full color logo.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're going to do that any justice in just a white or black print. I mean, it just won't look like something distinguishable or distinguished.
Going along with what Casey said, I think that with the way that things are, having that event that everyone's going to wear the shirt to, we don't know what that is going to be. So I would almost say maybe wait a little bit and see what January brings. Because if we are getting to the point that we are back in school and that we can do it, then it would be more likely that we can do that big, huge, hey, we want everybody to do this. But right now it's everyone get it and you can wear it on your Zoom. But my kid rolls out of bed in her pajamas and we're lucky if she puts on a uniform shirt before she sits down for her Zoom. If she even makes her Zoom these days, honestly. She's having a rough time when I'm not home. So I think that maybe waiting on the shirts until we can have that bigger moment would maybe make it more impactful.
I mean, I cannot disagree with that at all because everybody matching on Zoom has limited fireworks associated with it. But I do think, yeah, I'm like, as opposed to everybody kind of going out and doing their own thing, I'd kind of come up with one, like, if we're going to be serious, let's be seriously big about it.
Everybody wear them in the Bear Paw Parade next year.
That would
That's a
be
good idea.
great. No, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, if like 175 people in mass in a matching cool t-shirt is amazing, you know? So, and it's no fun when only 6 people have them or only 48 people have them. It's either all on this thing. I don't know. I'm just like, if we thought we were going back to school and this could happen and we could say, hey, we can wear it on, you know, one Friday out of the month, I would be all over allocating some of the reserve funds to make this a very cool, awesome event.
Isn't it kind of like getting a patch from an exclusive club and only you have it?
That is why it's so awesome. It's not just Eagle Academy Charter School. It's like this is like the cherry.
Well, do we want to table that too and price out like a not fundraiser option and maybe Jennifer's shirt place option, and maybe if we want to throw high res in there for an option just so we have like price comparisons? No.
High res is going to be stupid expensive. I've tried them at least 10 times over the last 3 years for stuff, and I love them for some things, and I love supporting local, but not for this. If you're trying to make it cheap for our families, high res is not the way to go.
Hey, even if you order, like even if we say we were going to order
250 t-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, it's still that expensive.
When I did the jazz band thing last year, I did get a quote from High Res before I went to Custom Ink, and it was easily twice the price.
Oh, okay.
So if we're Paige,
Because you don't want to do it you want to do it screen print. You don't want to do it vinyl, and you can get cheaper stuff there with the vinyl, but their screen print is ridiculous. And so because if you do this,
nice t-shirt,
printing, it won't be. Yeah, you don't want to do the vinyl because it crinkles and cracks and pops, and it wouldn't last you more than depending on the kid.
No, my husband had some of those crinkly things made for the Army, and I'm like, put them in the trash can and start over. Ugh.
So a question I would throw out there is, do you think our families understand and appreciate what the blue ribbon means yet?
No.
They will when they get a free t-shirt.
Yes.
Well, that's
it on there.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if we can build up the acknowledgement of what this is, we'll have the actual award, the ceremony, I don't know if we can record it to show our families later, but make it a big deal now so that when we say we want to do this, then it is a big thing instead of, I'm just getting a free t-shirt.
Well, I think they'll realize how big it is when they get a free t-shirt and they're at a celebration that nobody else there's only one other school in the state right now that can do it, but they're a small town in the southeast of Alaska. So.
And I mean, this whole idea, Jennifer, let's talk about this bear paw thing. That would be brilliant.
If we do bear paw.
Yeah.
But
when we do bear paw in the spring.
Summer. It's summer. It's in July.
We did a long time ago when they were still trying to advertise the school when it was new. They did the bear paw parade a few times, I think. We even have banners, right? To hold in March.
I made the banner.
The reason they stopped doing it was because of the conflict. Sorry. Tell Daddy I'm in a meeting. Sorry. The reason they stopped doing it was because of the conflict with so many of the students being in other activities and other floats and not having enough to be able to be in the Eagle Academy float. And that was why, because we talked about it as a PTO about doing that, and we ended up not doing the parade and doing the teddy bear picnic instead because we didn't have that kind of a conflict. But if we made it big, we wanted people to do it and we planned ahead, we might be able to be more successful at that. Crossing our fingers that we'll be able to have a parade this year.
Well, and also the t-shirt could come with that caveat. To be worn.
Bribery, I love it.
And the Bear Paw Parade.
And
I
Paige,
mean, everybody could,
Paige, if you have time too, I'm pretty sure that the news media might be looking for something really positive to kind of highlight in relation to all the other things that are going on this year or that have been going on. So, you know, if we can coordinate with the celebration to have some of the news media stations participate, that would be nice.
Are we inviting them to the actual presentation this week? I don't know what the parameters are for that.
I have not, because did everybody get the email with the link to sign up to the virtual? You know, I'd signed us up and I had hoped that we would all be able to kind of gather in the tech room and watch together, but we'll all be watching separately.
But it could be something if it, I don't know if they have any limitations, but inviting the media, watch and see our little school be recognized. It could start that story, I guess.
I can look into that tomorrow and see.
Okay, so is what we want to do, table that and get more prices. Okay. On to the next one. Okay. Review October count period numbers, which we did during the principal's report. So that was 163.95, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Anything else on that one? All right, on to, yeah. Approve budget for the 2021-22 school year, which Deanne has said we are going to wait because ASD has not given her any budget numbers yet. So that is tabled. Are they going to extend the due date?
Oh,
you know?
I'm pretty sure it's been crickets on anything budget related.
Okay. Just checking. All right, so then we are on to financial review, which Deanne sent out with her principal's report.
So nothing has changed since the report from October. We still have to move some money for and we're still trying to track down what specifically those maintenance charges are for. We believe it's for coming out to change out one of the batteries in the AED. They do an annual check and review and refresh of those batteries, and then also our what is it called? The duress button battery in the wiring closet needed to be replaced also. So that in case we did have an active emergency in the building, when we press that button, somebody would really show up.
Does anyone have any questions for Deanne on the budget? All right, I think almost everyone shook their head no. And then did we still need executive session? And you're on mute.
Sorry, I would like to give you guys an update of some personnel matter.
All right, can someone
I will make
make
a
a
motion
motion?
that we can go and move into executive session for the reason listed as personnel.
I will second.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Okay, roll call vote. Is that one of the reasons that we can? Or is
Personnel.
it
Yeah.
Yes.
okay?
If we're doing that, do we have to make sure to let the person know that whoever personnel that we're going to talk about that person? And
Or we're not talking about a person, it's more financial reasons related to.
so that would be the first matters the immediate knowledge of which would clearly have an adverse effect upon the finances of the school, as opposed to the second, subjects that tend to prejudice the reputation and character of any person, provided that the person may request a public discussion.
Yes, we're
Okay,
not
I
talking
will
about
change
any.
my motion. I will change my motion that we are moving into executive session for reason number 1, because I don't have the
Okay.
reasons listed in front of me.
It's on the bottom of the agenda in the
Or
future.
second that.
She did. Jennifer asterisked those for you, Paige.
Oh, well,
FYI.
she got it pulled up, but I just didn't see it because I'm used to the italicized part at the bottom being the public input part.
Well, I
seconded?
seconded a long time ago. Mindy seconded.
Mindy seconded. All right, roll call vote. Okay, Mindy, are you in favor or opposed to moving into executive session?
I am in favor.
Missy,
In favor.
Jennifer,
In favor?
Paige,
In favor.
Casey,
Yes, in favor.
and I am also a yes. Okay.
Feel like I need to go somewhere.
We do have to go on YouTube Live.
Correct. So what I'm going to do is move everybody now into a breakout room.
Okay.
So in a few minutes, or a few seconds, you'll actually get a notification, and then you'll just click to get into the room. And then I'll wait till everybody's in the room before we actually start executive session.
Okay.
Mhm.